So we're here where you had the first major photo shoot that we had for anything involved with Xcelsior. That happened to be the Persistence collection.
Yeah.
I'd say we've come a pretty long way since then. Obviously, we're going to talk about some of the flourish shoots that we did, but what were some lessons learned that from this one you kind of took forward and really helped us propel into the next collection?
Lessons learned from that Persistence shoot. I think we did really well. We had like a fantastic photographer, Matt, who helped a lot. So he took a lot of pressure off of me. I learned to be better with, okay, you guys go shoot your pictures over there. I'm going to do interviews at the same time, or else it just like extends the timeline so much. So we definitely tried to do, just be quicker and more efficient with everything, especially with the spring one. We thought, oh, it's spring, it's going to be nice weather, it'll be warm, it'll be flowers and beautiful, and it was probably colder than our Persistence collection shoot in the middle of December. So we definitely had to be efficient with our time because people were getting cold. So we had a beautiful location. I went there beforehand to map out. I knew like where I wanted to go and take the photos, the spots we were all going to be in. So as far as that, I guess just planning as well, like figuring out, hey, when we do this photo shoot, this is what we want as a result of the photo shoot, the posts we want to do, the reels we want to put out. So just more purpose with the photo shoot, I think, is what I took away from the first one.
For sure. I think to the part of like planning what we want to get out of it, moving to the second one was almost solely driven by the post that we had seen in our head and we'd planned out, where that first one was kind of like, okay, like, let's just take the photos. And I think it turned out great, and I think the flourish ones turned out like excellent as well. So we can start with yours because it's more in tune with being outside and the nature part, but you were tasked with the challenge of trying to emphasize the part of resting and resetting with nature for the underrated competitor. So take us through what that day was like. I know it was a bit colder than expected. And
yeah, well, first I'll say the location was wonderful. It was Branch Brook Park, which is a cherry blossom focused park, and it was actually created by the same person who created Central Park in New York. So it's a huge, beautiful park in Newark. And I knew I wanted to go there because we had the cherry blossom scenes, but also I had just done a park cleanup through my work. And I went there and I was like, wow, this is so beautiful. There's so many different places for us to go and take these photos, and it's not too popular, so I knew we could do whatever we wanted when we were there, which is great. So it was like just a wonderful location. I think that really shows out in the videos and pictures we were able to take, even though it was cold and rainy. I don't think that comes across in the photos. So I knew I wanted to just really emphasize the floral part of the Flourish collection. Just I think we were able to capture the white blossoms, pink blossoms, there were yellow flowers as well. So it just really lent itself to the beauty of this collection, and I think we got some really nice photos that emphasized the beauty of the pieces we were wearing, as well as what the theme we were trying to get for the spring, about regrowth and beauty and everything that comes with that.
Yeah, absolutely. My situation and task was a bit different. I wanted to emphasize kind of the harsher edge of what an underrated competitor does, the grind aspect of it. I was very fortunate enough that we worked with Sophia Pleat, who we have a podcast coming out with soon, but her situation's super unique. She was a student athlete and didn't think she'd be an athlete, just kind of like went to the school and ended up becoming an athlete, and then after that she had no interest really in becoming a photographer. She said she had gotten a camera for like Christmas and always liked hiking, so on all the fire posts in the Adirondacks she would take a picture. And the amount of progress she had made in a year was like terrific, and she worked with us for all of our games and stuff, and so I definitely know somebody who I wanted to work with, and it turned out great. I think, again, from the first shoot, and I'd been a part of one way back when in New York City, it was the ability to kind of know what we wanted to get out of it and know how to be okay saying like, hey, like, let's retake this one, like this part isn't exactly how we see it. And I know we worked, us and Nick actually worked pretty tirelessly on creating a shot list and figuring out how we want each part of the post to be. We ended up with extra stuff, but it was much easier after the fact to go through and be like, okay, we want to have this aspect of it, and oh, we don't have room for this shot, oh, it's okay. But Yeah, it was a blast working with the people we worked with. I worked with 3 people all in different fields and really tried to encompass what it meant to be the competitor part and how everybody has a different arena.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved your part of it because that was the Find Your Arena portion
Yeah.
of it. And I remember, I think you can see on our Instagram, it's like 6 posts we have about that, about taking you through the story of failing, but realizing this is part of the process and that you're in the arena. If you're failing, going back, using your resources and your friends to prepare for the next competition, training on your own as well, finally getting back there and okay, it's time to compete. And then you've done it, you've won, but now we got to do it again. It's not over. Like feel that joy, feel that happiness, but also you got to do the loop over again if you want to excel to the next level. And I think all those videos turned out exactly how we planned, which I think that's something we learned is we have multiple documents of just this video, this is what we want to get out of it, this is the lines we want to say, this is the shots we want to take. And I think everything that was in my head versus when you actually showed me the videos, it was like, this is exactly what I thought it was going to be, which I haven't had that feeling before. Like, this turned out perfectly. And when you were sending me those videos, I was like, yeah, this is what I imagined. So I love that part of the spring for us.
Absolutely. And I think that moving into the summer, that's something that we keep talking about, how we really want to have the messaging planned in it. And I think, we saw that those videos did really well. And so people like that story part of it a bit differently. Obviously, when we're in the hat we released in the spring, we also found how important it is to niche through the hat.
Absolutely.
We kind of made a golf video. Garrett had recorded some video, and it was just kind of like, hey, recorded this for you. Like, let me know what you think. And I think during that week, we had just finished your portion of the campaign, and it was like, yeah, like we haven't really had much love to the hat. Like, let's put it out there. And post as the best post we had in months. And, I think not only does it show that we have some supporters in golf and the options that will bring us, but just shows to always try stuff. Like, I know that's something that Greg talks to us a lot about, but it's like, yeah, we don't know what is really going to fully resonate, but we're getting a better and better idea every time we put stuff out.
Yeah, I couldn't believe about that golf post because that was just like a Friday. It wasn't a throwaway. Like, we really liked the video, but it's just your friend taking a shot. We had like a little bit, I think Addie did the voiceover for it, and then like a closing slide. You're like, oh, this is good. And then it got like over 3K views in like a few days. We were like, oh my God, that's crazy. And then we almost got scammed off of it. that was the one,
we
right?
got the DM. Yeah, that was that post. That's crazy. Yeah. And even talking to the voiceovers, that was something that I know, like, we had it planned into the script and we hadn't really thought about it all that much. And like, I know the one guy I live with, Finn, who was in like an early persistence with the hats and has a good voice, and I was like, would you do it? And like, I feel like it's easier to ask somebody to do like, oh, would you be in the photo shoot? Like, they know they're going to be in it, they're comfortable. He was like, yeah, sure, why not? And I remember we went in my room and like made it as soundproof as possible, and he knocked it out of the park like first try. And there was like maybe a little pause in this literally his first go, and he's like, no, I got to redo it before I had said anything. And I was like, perfect. Like, and so he did all of them for the Find Your Arena. We had Addison do a few for the post that followed that, and they all really, like, I think we're starting to find our groove again. I think, again, in the beginning, we had some models that worked really well for us. The interviews were one of those, and we don't want to stray fully away from that. We think that still brings value, but maybe incorporating those in different ways, and even long-form content so people have time to really express what they want to say.
Yeah, absolutely. That was another thing I learned, or I realized I want to do with the photo shoot, was just, if we can, always have different models coming in, because people have different ideas of what the collective means to them, and just different vibes to show. Like, these are all important people in our lives that we respect and like enjoy being with. So it's really awesome to have a platform to show other people, like, here are like all these great people who deserve recognition and deserve to be out there and people you can learn from. So it's really cool to have that platform to kind of show these special people off. So
absolutely. And I was even talking with Nick about it, speaking of the different perspectives that come with it. Like, we've had talks about it, and we've had plenty of opportunity. Like, our website right now could be just Xcelsior.co. Like, that was something that we talked about, and we see the value in the collective part. Like, that's almost equally as important to us as the Xcelsior part. And I was saying how when I left yesterday, I felt as though, like, I felt super grateful, and I had a lot of gratitude towards the fact that, like, I get to work with such, like, well thought out people, and I enjoy that part. And I think that's what the collective brings. Like, yeah, we give you these guidelines to what it means for us to be an underrated competitor, but we try to leave them open enough so you can see yourself in that situation, and whatever that may mean for you is exactly what we meant it to mean.
Yeah.
It's almost like an open-ended book, and that's why people love it, at least for me, like, love reading it as opposed to watching it on film. Like, you get to interpret it how you want, and that's almost the beauty in the collective part, and we try to bring as many people together as we can.
Yeah, and I'm sure you feel this way doing the podcast sometimes, but doing the interviews, like, I have my list of questions, so I'm just trying to make sure it's fluid and comfortable for the person doing it, and I don't always hear what they're saying. Then when I go back and edit the videos, I like, wow, this is great.
Yeah.
And it'll be like, oh, well, this is my definition of Xcelsior Collective, but I really like what you said too, and I never thought about it that way, and of course that fits too.
Yeah.
So,
No,
yeah,
absolutely.
it's wonderful working with all these people.
Absolutely, and I think putting them in that situation gives them a unique opportunity to express themselves a bit differently. Like, I hang out with all the people in the podcast that I've done thus far, and I even hear stories in that I hadn't heard prior.
And spring, how many months in, and it's still raining?
Yeah, always raining in the spring.
Oh my God.
It's only fitting we started the florist collection.
Have flowers by now, and it's still raining.
No, but super excited, lessons learned during the spring, and can't wait to transition that into the summer and sit down with you a bit more on that.
Absolutely, looking forward to it. Let's get out of here.
Force the raining.